So that one, it goes a lot for the stress that you're feeling too. Let's say you know what you need to do. You know you need to eat. But the question is, why are you not doing that? Why are you not eating what you should eat? A lot of times what's going around you with emotions. Remember that I said about emotional eating? When you feel stress, you want something comfort. You want to feel comfortable. So comfort food. When you're newborn, you want your comfort. Your mom and your dad or anyone that loved you wanted to comfort you.
Hi everyone, welcome back to Deep Dive with Varuna. Today's episode is with Danielly Rocha-Lanter. She is an entrepreneur, health, life and fitness coach. She came from Brazil like several years back, and in the process of enjoying staying in America, she gained weight and there started her fitness journey, and we would like to know more about how her transformation happened. Hi Daniel, thank you for being my guest today.
Thank you, Varuna. Thanks so much for having me. I'm so excited to tell a little bit about my story and for people to understand where I came from, because there's a lot of people who went through from the same lifestyle, same thing. So I came to America. I'm originally from Brazil, and I came to America in 2009. And I was in Brazil. I have a totally different lifestyle. I had first my family. I have everyone there to support my family, my where I grew up, my childhood. And I was a surfer and play sports. And I used to drive. I did not drive everywhere. I normally take a bus or I walk, because we could not find parking spots. It's not like here in America that you find one everywhere. No, it's like it was so hard. So you have to walk or drive, or walk or take a bus to be closer to what you want to get. And so when I came to America, I came because I want to learn English. So I tried this program called Au Pair. It was like a babysitter, but living with the family, because I want to learn the language. And I realized that learn the language, it was just one small thing, but I left everything behind. I left my family. I left my food, my lifestyle, everything. So, and learning another language in another country was really hard. So what I did, I tried to merge this 100% in the culture, like eat that lifestyle, that go nonstop, feel guilty if you take a vacation, try to work, because I buy a lot of things, and also eat fast food. I get to know fast food. I did not know what a fast food was really, because in Brazil it's expensive. Fast food really is not as cheap. So I had to go to people's. So it's like buy one, get one free. I used to eat both at the same time. I didn't care. Because I thought I was young. I didn't think about weight gain. I didn't think about health. The reality, I never thought about health before I gained so much weight. And time goes and you start not exercising, eating bad, and I start gaining a lot of weights. And one day, I remember I went back to Brazil, and as a good Latina parents, they don't tell you, oh, you look different. They're like, oh my goodness, you're chubby. Latino household, they're not afraid to tell you. I already knew because my parents were telling me that I was a little overweight, but my family was really aware of that. They really told me, my grandparents, everyone. I was always feeling so bad, but I tried to lose weight like a normal person would do. I signed up for the gym, tried to do hours of cardio, became a sponsor. I tell people, you become a sponsor. If you pay the gym, you don't go. You sponsor a gym. So I became like a regular sponsor. I did not eat vegetables. I ate less. I tried so many diets. Dukan diets, paleo diets, so many diets I tried. Did not work. I bought also books, but I never finished reading. never finished. I started like, oh, too much work. I'll go to another thing. I did. Oh, I went to Food Addicts Anonymous. It's a FA. It's the same way for AA, but it's for food. I was desperate. I need something. I took diet pills. The diet pills gave me a bad ulcer. I had ended up having ulcer in my intestines because of so much diet pills that I took. And the the alert was there, and I started having high cholesterol. I was able to lose some weight, but as soon as I stopped everything, I came back to the weight. I lost 10 pounds, but I gained back 10 pounds. I did not learn what it is about weight loss. I learned I wanted fast results. Again, we live in a society that we want something fast. And if you have an ADD like me, ADHD, for people with ADHD, it's really hard for us to focus too much in the future. The future needs to be tomorrow, really things needs to happen right now. If we stop doing that. That's why a lot of times it's hard for people try to lose weight on their own or doing things on their own, because it's a long process and it's so hard for us to focus on that. So one day I was watching WWE. Have you heard about it?
No.
It's a wrestling. It's a wrestling.
Oh, okay. Uh-huh.
It's a wrestling that people dress up. It's like a soap opera mix of wrestling, but it's not real. It's more so. I don't even understand. What happened is each channel was a gossip channel. That's how much my life was. Each channel had a show of the divas, of the ladies that fight WWE. And I was on my bed on the second floor watching Total Divas, and I saw the body of those girls. And that was the day I was like, how they can have that and I cannot?
Oh.
You see, you never thought so. A reality show. It was a reality show influencing me to do that. And I was okay. So that was the day I started studying. I was like, okay, I'm gonna start studying really what is about weight loss. I started studying exercise, fitness, and that's when my journey started. But I realized first I did fitness, exercise. I print a bunch of pages. Okay, these are workout plans there. I need to have a plan. If these are the workout plans, I'm gonna do it. And I'm like, okay, next step. I start doing that. Okay, next step, learn how to eat. I did not eat vegetables. I was really hard for vegetables. So my only vegetable I ate was a tomato, that's a fruit, and a heart of palm, which comes in a can, in a preserver can, which is a load of salt. So that was my salad when I grew up. Oh. Sometimes my mom throws some okras, but black beans and rice were really regular part of my diet. Mm-hmm. So I had learn how to cook, and second I had to learn how to eat vegetables. And that was a learning process. And I started losing weight and start teaching people like, hey, come here, let me teach you this exercise that I just learned. My thing is I'm a teacher. Like, let me teach you. And I was teaching them. And one day people like, Danielly, can you become my trainer? I'm like, no, I'm not. I was doing it already for free. I'm like, no, I'm not going to become your trainer. No, just become my trainer. I'm like, no, I was already teaching the person. It's like, what about if I pay you? Sure, when are we going to do it? Like that time I was not making a lot of money, but like someone offered me money and like, let's do it. I remember that day I was driving with my husband and that person texted me, I'll pay you. I'm like, what? I'm like, yes, let's do it. And that one it started. But I was like, okay, I want to kill that person. I want to make sure I know how to work in the body. So I started getting my certifications. Wow. Of personal training certifications. And that's how I started with personal training. And after personal training, I started getting everything related to fitness training, everything. TRX, prenatal, everything. And after I started getting certified nutrition too. Because, okay, you are what you eat. Let the food be your medicine. Let the medicine be your food, as Hippocrates used to say. So I used to do, so what that's what I did. I made food as my medicine to cure myself my own ulcer, because I had ulcer
Mm-hmm.
from the from the diet pills. But I still have I need to understand people's mind. And that's when I went deep diving and more about the mind, because your mind can make you or break you. I
Mm.
can do a beautiful workout with my clients, but if it doesn't work, if you don't study, they don't teach you the mindset, it's not gonna work. Yeah.
Yeah, excellent. Um, so lovely story. It's such an interesting story and inspiring as well. Now, next, going to the next question. What's the most common thought patterns that you have observed in people that stop them from losing weight?
So first is a lot of times they stop practicing the mindfulness, understand mindfulness, and understand that everyone going through problems, but moving on through that. Because what happened is I see a lot of in the past people that go in some situation in the family or something, or they stop moving. They wanna, which is normal. Imagine when you're sad, when you're upset, you just wanna be crawling, or you wanna eat. You wanna eat the emotion, and uh, and that's one of the patterns, or the life becomes too busy and you just want to drink and you want to eat, you want to lie down and not moving too much. And that's one of the patterns I see most. But understand the mindfulness, understand like you have, if you want to change your mood, you have to move your body, but not only through fitness. If you want to, one of the techniques I teach in my programs is we teach about different techniques for when a person is down. I want you to use some of those techniques. That's why, like, for example, the first one we're doing drawing. You're going to draw yourself. You're going to draw how you see yourself. What is the biggest problem? What is the solution of your problem? And this is all science behind it, because what we do is we're going to go all the way to the unconscious mind and put it outside in the paper. Like famous painters use drawing as a time of release, to release the stress. Like Frida, on other painters, they use painting to put it out there. And I have, and also like for example, shake your body, dance, put in your favorite music, and just let it go. That's what the animals do after either go the big fight, or they go to what an animal had like a really high adrenaline. They shake the body to release the adrenaline. And that's why I teach my clients, shake your body, move your body, put your favorite music, put it louder. So that way you don't give up on yourself, because when you stress out, you become the last priority. You become you don't want to move, you want to lie down, you want to eat something that tastes good, something that gives you pleasure. Because also again, the emotional eating so related to giving up. To when you are, the first time you learn about eating comes from your the first time you learn about eating and emotions is when your mom grabs you, or your dad, or someone in your family, and feeds you first time, either through the breast or through the bottle. That's the first time in your life you learn about emotion. And and that's a lot of times is there is a Harvard study shows that it's not even the parents' fault. It's like nature. When sometimes the kids like it's uncomfortable. The parents go, oh, let me feed them. Let me feed the let's put in the breast. A lot of times the kid doesn't even want to eat. They just want to comfort.
Oh, wow. That's a bulb on moment.
Yeah, and you a mom. You know what I'm talking about. Like when you're fit, when your baby wants like just want to feel good and remember those times. And that's the first time you learn about emotion and eating. And again, everything's in the unconscious. That's why you say what you're gonna eat, and after that you get introduced by regular food, by regular, like after you get introduced by cooked sugar, pizza, and food becomes a habit. It becomes like a part of your part of your daily habit, become a tradition, like Christmas. We eat together for the family, go to the grandparents' house, have your childhood family, have the and that going to your and even funerals, we eat to celebrate. We eat when you're sad. So food becomes a big part, and making sure we are not eating the emotions, and learn how to put yourself first. It's really hard, but when you are going through some hard time, but remember that you can learn techniques like, okay, I'm stressed out. I know I have to move. I know I have to. My body is a gift. Is the only. It's for momentum in life that I have this. So what can I do to make? What can I do to gift my body, make them like move, and again, your mind's the one that's going to control that. Even if you're going through problems, go for a walk in nature, walking, like let your connect with your breath, so that way your cortisol goes down and you're able to focus more, you're able to balance more your hormones.
Excellent. Fabulous, actually. I didn't relate, like feeding a baby, that connection starts, that pattern starts. Um, most of us are aware of, like these techniques, but it's really hard to implement, like when it comes to implementing that. What is that mind shift, or what is it that we need to do every day in order to make sure that we make the new neural pathway, that pattern has to be broken and the new habit has to be learned? How can we handle that?
So yeah, that's really fun. That's a really nice question, because people think it's their fault. Oh my God, it's they want to create a new habit, but they stop doing, and after that go back to the old habits. So this is like this, is psychology. So imagine you're doing a habit, the same habit every day for 30 years of your life. So let's say the habit goes to one direction. So what your brain trying to do is make you comfortable. Your brain doesn't want to you overworked. So you have a force going straight. You're doing a pattern every day, the same time. That's a pattern that's going straight for life, because your brain's not even focused. It's like, you can do this. Now you want to create a new pattern. So you have a force that goes straight. Now you have a new pattern that goes to the opposite directions, going all the way up.
Yeah.
So you're like this. Every time you have a pattern here and a pattern there. So every time you're trying to create it, you have to do every day for you to create that, for your brain to understand, hey, this is a new thing that you're going to be doing. So it's okay. So this is a cognitive behavior. So, but you stop, let's people, for example, exercise 3 times a week only. Let's say that.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm exercising 3 times, I'm starting, instead of doing every day. So remember, you did not exercise for every day. You never moved every day in your life. So that's a normal behavior that your brain knows what to do. Now it's like, okay, I'm going to exercise 3 times a week. And you started 1 every other day. But after that, you stop 3 days in a row. And after that, and now you have that force going down, because your brain's like, no, come back to what you know.
Yeah.
Come back. That's a psychology therapist. They do that. It's a cognitive behavior that your brain's trying to force you to go do something that you already knew. You've been doing this for years. Mm-hmm. So what you need to do is, you have to do it every day, not for 21 days, a little more than that, until your brain. So people think, 15 days, 21 days for you to create a new habit. But the reality is, until your brain understand that this has become part of you. becomes part of your life. Don't put in your calendars like, oh, 21 days. So you forcing yourself to do it. So you need to understand what you feel like. Okay, that's like brushing your teeth. It becomes a habit of every single day you're doing. Like some people meditate every day. I have clients that because now I meditate every day. It's like brush my teeth. If I don't do it, I feel like something's gone, something's wrong. It needs to create a pattern. And if you don't feel like when you start missing 2 or 3 days, if you feel comfortable doing that, you have not created a pattern.
Oh.
You have to create a pattern. So do it every day, but don't do it like 1 hour. It's too hard. Do it 10 minutes. At least just like, okay, I'm going to sign up. I'm going to be there 10 minutes and you can time 10 minutes. That's it. And you leave. And then tomorrow, 10 more minutes. And you do it every day. It's like today I'm not going to work out. Okay, so I'm going to go for a walk. I'm going to dance some music and I'm going to do something. Do it.
Excellent. Again, I'm going to come back to the food. What stops you from eating what you need to eat to lose weight?
So that one, it goes a lot for the stress that you're feeling too. Let's say you know what you need to do. You know you need to eat. But the question is, why are you not doing that? Why are you not eating what you should eat? A lot of times what's going around you, emotions. Remember I said about emotional eating? When you feel stress, you want something comfort. You want to feel comfortable. So comfort food. When you're newborn, your mom and your dad or anyone that loved you wanted to comfort you, for you to stop crying, and they feed you. They put in the breast. So or when you're upset, when you're childhood, your grandma or someone give you something that tastes good, that you like it, because the taste bud connects so well with the brain. They can give you they give you the happiness moments. And when you stress out, you have to eat the salad. You know that, or you have to eat the vegetables, because you understand what is inside of there. They're going to feed your body. But you had a bad day at work. And that pizza sounds really good. But you know what you need to eat, because you have a goal. You visualize, you see yourself. But your day of stress was so bad that you want the ice cream or something that make you comfortable. Again, that's why I call it comfort food. Emotion, it's all related to the emotions. And first, you learn techniques that understand why you're feeling that way, and breathe. Connecting for food. If you're gonna eat that, I want you at least you learn how to balance your food. How to, like, for example, if you want to eat a pizza, okay, because you're sad, I want you to have a salad before with a lot of vegetables inside. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna stock your body with fiber. At least you can play around and understand the math and how the glycemic index, how the carbohydrate works, how the fiber works in your body before you eat something that's comfort you. The recommendation is, I'm not gonna say don't eat that food. It's hard. We are humans. But I'm gonna say at least learn how to use the fiber, use the nutrients, use that, like the legumes, to help you. So that way you don't have to eat the big portion of pizza, or that way you don't have to drink so much alcohol. And being mindful and understand about mindful eating. That's so powerful. Connect with your food, because when you connect with your food, you really start putting attention in what you're eating, how you're feeling.
Okay. Awesome. So, when I want to eat, I had a bad day, and then I decide to eat a big box of cookies. what is it that I can say to myself to break that, like to stop me from eating that, or at least to one or two cookies?
So first, ask a question. Why do you want to eat that?
Mm-hmm.
Ask a question. You can ask yourself, okay, why do I want to eat that? Do I, yeah.
Sometimes like your inner mind says you deserve it, you had a bad day, like the resistance comes and it overpowers you, it takes control over you, and then you feel like, okay, I just need that. So there are situations where a lot of people deal with that emotion, where you feel like, okay, this is my right, food is something that gives me comfort, but taking that pause between eating and chatter is like really, really hard. How do we get there? It seems to be my personal question because sometimes I
Yeah,
deal with that.
you're not alone. You're not alone.
Yeah.
You can find first, if you need to know yourself, you already know that if you have a bad day, you're going to have a cookie. So first, don't buy that in the house. And if you buy, I want you to find a good quality that find a little more sugar free or something that still look good, and put things around your house that you know what you have is there. It's healthier for your body. There is this study, for example, making one in a it was in a hospital, and the new director of the hospital say, I want to change the food habits of my entire staff without telling them. So what she did is she noticed they didn't have a water bottles in her in the next to the cashier had sodas and now water bottles. So what she did, she replaced all the water bottles, put on the top. Each cashier had the water bottles, and the soda she put on the bottom of the refrigerator, and the water fill up of water bottles. And she noticed that the staff start buying more water than soda after that. And after that, they start changing, and after she started doing other chains, she started adding more fruits and vegetables next to the cashier. Because if you notice, if you go to the cashiers, it's always candy,
Yeah.
always, and that's for reasons there. Is because that's what they wanted you to buy at the end, because that's the time you're more tired. It's like, oh, let me get one because it tastes good. Let me get another one, and they go good price. Like it's only $1. So, and you already know how bad day you have. So put in your environment. Start from your environment first. Change your environment instead of you putting that cookie, making that cookie of like chocolate cookie or ice cream. Let's make something, or let's buy something that's more healthier for your body, that you're not going to feel as bad if you eat. So that way you still have the little moments of pleasure, because I know it's hard, sometimes it's hard, and learn how to deal with yourself, like learn how to be about meditation, mindfulness, work on your problems. It's also so important. But put everything around your house. And if you want to, you can test. If you want to teach the behavior of your entire family, you buy food and display food that's a healthy for your family. You change, like that hospital they did. They changed the environment, the staff nutrition only by what they see.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Excellent. Um, so when it comes to building our new relationship with food, how can we, what kind of a mindfulness practice we need to start from day, like from now on?
Yes. With the food, the first one I tell my clients is so when it comes to our my work program, is that's the order. First, they draw them. They ask. We ask question why they're there, so for them to write down, to be clear what is the reason, and after that they learn. They do the drawing, how they see themselves, what is the problem, and what is the solution. And after that, they go deep diving in nutrition. So one day is all about carbs, one day is about protein, one day about fat, one day how to read the label, and the next day is, this is an 8 weeks program, but every day they learn for 10 minutes something. Um, the next day is mindful eating. The mindful eating we think we can do 500 things at the same time. And there is a lot of science says that we can't. As much technology think we can. The only thing I can do at the same time is if my robot is vacuuming my house and I'm doing the dishes. That's something where I'm mopping. I'm not me. I'm just pushing the button. But the rest is we cannot do two things at the same time. Either you're talking or you're tasting the flavors of your food. Either you're drinking or you're watching TV.
Okay.
So be mindful. So I teach a technique of mindful eating, really connecting with your food. So that's the first thing I tell people, learn about mindfulness. Just to grab your cup of coffee in the morning. If you don't drink coffee or your tea, just breathe the first thing in the morning and take one sip and really taste all the flavors. Connect with your food and remember where they came from. If it was grown in factory, always grow. And after that, the person works more about, we go deep. We're going to work on the traumas, with the family behaviors. A lot of times because who you are is a lot of times family generations that keep teaching behaviors that goes unconscious. Like I noticed that I was talking to my daughter the way my mom talked to me. I was like, and I hated that. And I'm like, why am I doing that? And that's a behavior that we put in a paper. That's because we open up your eyes and it's like, oh yeah, this is how I'm doing. So and food related is the same thing. We do the food part, behaviors that comes the way your family eats or the way the relationship they have with the food is the same time. A lot of times it's the same one that you're going to have. So there is a pattern that needs to be broken.
Excellent. And we talked about the conditioning and then the parenting, right? I would like to ask, like, why do we self-sabotage ourselves on purpose? Do we do that on purpose?
No, that's why I said, no, we never do on purpose. We just have a behavior that we are creating, that we are doing, like old behaviors that we're doing every day. A lot of times learned by generations that we're doing every day. It's something that your brain doesn't want to make your brain doesn't want to work hard. Your brain's already working hard to provide energy for entire body and function your entire body. So it's extra work and you have your 24 hours that's hard already. So you already have a behavior that's so comfortable. It's comfortable. Now you're going to create another direction, another behavior that goes all the way to so opposite direction. And your brain's like, what are you doing? Go back to your old behavior. I'm already working hard here. So every time, that's why you have to, if you're a creator, and every time you stop doing something for one day because something happened, you're like, oh, okay. It's just your brain trying to bring you back to the old behavior. And again, it's a cognitive behavior. It's like just your brain trying to bring back. So understand that you have to do something every day to create a new behavior. And it's not your fault that you're like, oh, I'm going to do tomorrow. And again, it depends also the circumstance that you have. Like, let's say you have ADHD like me, you will have easier time to get off the path because exercise, fitness, mindfulness, meditation, it's a lot of work for your brain. And we cannot focus. When you're ADHD, you think about 500 things at the same time. So it's too hard. It's really easy for us to get off the path. Be like, it's like, oh, butterfly, something's happening here. It's like something, you go to the whole opposite direction.
Hundreds of thoughts.
Yeah. And over technology just made worse. Now everyone, I think, has ADHD. Everyone's diagnosed with. So it's so hard for, like today, for example, I was making espresso coffee. The machine was on. I was frying an egg. I had a chair, something I was hearing. And I was putting avocado on my toast. I was like, I know I cannot do all these things at the same time. And my robot was on. I was looking at my robot, like, what's going on? The coffee started going all the way. I'm like, my husband's like, what are you doing? I'm like, I don't know. Let me breathe. So I had to breathe, turn off. We're like, okay, the egg, let me wait for the egg, focus on one thing. So it's so hard for us. So again, our brains makes us to get what we already know. And it's really easy for us to get out of the track. So having someone to tell you, hey, like my husband, like, hey, focus. Hey, come here. That's why I tell people, it's so important when you hire someone, a trainer, a health coach, a life coach, it's not because it's not the money you spending on yourself until you create that habit, a behavior, a new habit. Because exercise is a lot on your brain. It's not because you're already tired. Eating healthy is a lot in your brain, and everything happens. Going to therapist, focus on your problems, so much, a lot. But paying your someone is an investment you do on yourself. After I had my kid, I had to pay someone to train me. I own a gym. But I had to, what's going on? I own a gym. And I had to pay, I had to go dive deep in psychology groups. It's like more for me to understand and help other clients. Because that way I'll make an appointment. And if you pay, it's worth everything that's free. It's like, oh, okay, it's free.
Yeah. I get it. Yeah. You have been talking about meditation. Can you tell me like how important meditation is for everyone in today's era?
Meditation is so important because it's the only time you connect with yourself. You have the peace and quiet that you like. It's like when you put your computer, it's like this. It's like you're watching a movie and you pause the movie. And that way you do something else. So it's like everything's like actions every day. So it's a time you're really connecting with your spiritual, with yourself, to breathe. So just an example, I had a client that she was having anxiety. And I'm like, okay, let's breathe together. And her heart rate went all the way up. I measured her heart rate. She had a watch that was the measure was all the way up, having so much anxiety. And I'm like, okay, let's breathe. So I taught a technique that I learned from one of my mentors, James Gordon, and it was soft belly. And that's a technique that I teach all my clients. And we just breathe soft and belly. Notice the belly being soft, repeating those two words, which is a mantra, repeating two words. And she was able to calm down, connect with herself. Her heart rate went to regular. And that was like in 2 minutes of doing. So connect with yourself. We are in society, we are all the time so stressed out. Every time our cortisol, it's so high every day. Like your ancestors, they used to, the caveman, the fight and flight response, that's like either you fight for an animal or fly because they have to run away. That response, the fight and flight, is the same one today. The evolution did not make a difference that you're late for your appointment and you're running like crazy, grabbing your kids, go run, brush your teeth in the cars if you can. They don't know the difference. Or something's burning, you running because you're trying to do 500 things at the same time. Your brain does not know the difference about the cave. You're running from a tiger or trying to catch one, or you're trying to, or you fight or flight, and right now that you're late for appointment or you're doing 500 things at the same time. That doesn't know. The cortisol is the same thing. The problem is every time your cortisol is high, your stress, which is your stress response, every time it's high, it takes time to come back. And that's why a lot of times people gain weight. And there's a lot of times people eat what they want to eat because the cortisol, after the fight response is that go away, the hunger hormone goes up, and you start eating something because you're already so stressed out that something happened, and you start eating. Again, that's why you have to change your environment, if you know, and meditate will bring the cortisol down, will bring that stress response down, because it's the time that you can breathe with yourself. But again, there's different types of meditations, not only sitting down here like It's not like that. There is so many types.
Yeah. For a newbie who wants to start meditation, what is your best advice to them?
So that's the thing. It's a different personalities. If every person, I cannot tell like, okay, go do a mantra, go do. It's different personalities. If I know that someone, the mind wanders like mine, like you hear like, oh yeah, what am I gonna do in my what am I gonna have for dinner later? And after that, I'm closing my eyes, like, what am I gonna have for lunch tomorrow? Yeah, that's not for you. It's so hard. That's gonna be exhausting. You're gonna do this for 4 days and you're gone after that. So you can one time meditation is can be is go remove your shoes and walk in the grass and touch a tree. Just breathe in, breathe out. Another type can be just dance, moving your body. Just shake the letting go, put your favorite music and let it go like nobody's watching you. But I want you to do when nobody's watching because that's the time you're not afraid to move. Or it can be drawing. Some people are more artistic. It can be talking to a problem, writing. Like if you're that one technique that we teach that your problem is sitting down across from you and you have a conversation. Hey, like for example, I had a headache a few days ago. Hey, headache, what's going on? And or it can be why you stress out too. So there is so many times of meditation that you can do. The goal is connect with yourself, with your body, without worrying what's going on next tomorrow, 1 hour later that you have to go to another appointment.
Great. Um, for an emotional eater, when they want to open the fridge and take something and binge on it, if they have to ask themselves like a couple of questions, what would be those questions?
Am I hungry?
Okay.
Am I hungry or not? Why I'm eating that? So first, always ask yourself, if you're not hungry, go first drink a cup of water. A lot of times when you don't have enough water in your system, you think that you're hungry, so you're trying to binge eating. And ask yourself questions. First one always, am I hungry?
Okay. Excellent. Um, so mind versus body, what's hard to train and why should we go with that route?
The mind or the body, you said?
Yeah.
For you to train your body, you have to train your mind. It doesn't have like you have to train your mind for you to train your body. Or you pay someone to train your body, that like you pay an appointment and make sure if you don't show up, you did not train your mind until you learn how to train your mind. But mind is always hard. The body, if you pay someone, you show up, at least you're showing up. But the mind, to change a behavior, to understand how you feel, understand your stress, talking to yourself. And everyone goes to trauma. You need to understand that. And the trauma is going to influence you in your future. Some people went through trauma earlier in life, which is, I feel bad for that. And some people go through trauma in the future. It can be any type of trauma. It can be losing a job, have a breakup, a heart breakup, or an accident, or losing someone of your loved ones. It can be anything influence you, who you are today, or be bullying that in school. So work on your traumas, work on yourself, learn techniques to release that tension. That's so important for you, for your weight loss journey. People don't understand that. They're like, oh, just work in nutrition, work out. No, you have to work on yourself for you to have a better behavior, to understand everything around you. Work on your, like, for example, we're learning how to say no a lot of times because we are women, we don't like to say no. We always like to say yes. And we think We can do everything, like take care of kids, take care of family, have a business, do every 500 things, take care of the house. I can do everything and learn how to say, no, you're going to do that now. So don't be afraid to do that, because a lot of times you sign up for more things that you can do it, and you get stressed out, and again it becomes a cycle. You become stressed out because you sign up for something that you did not want to do it, but you don't want to say no, and you're like, why did I do that? And you feel bad about that, and after that you have one more thing on your plate and you don't have time to work on yourself, and you get stressed out. So what you're going to end up doing, maybe you're going to start sleeping, and you start eating more, and the eating more, you start keeping getting stressed out, more stress because of the problem, because what you ate, you felt good eating for 1 minute, but the next day you felt bad when you dress up a clothes that you don't want to dress up because you can feel like this doesn't fit me anymore. And after that, you start getting more stressed out of other things. So it becomes a cycle. So there's so many techniques that are out there for us, and that's my program teaches.
Yeah. I would like to tell the viewers what program it is and what do you teach in that program?
So the mind body transformation is the name of my program at Danielly's Fitness. We don't go, you have access to workout plans, nutrition. We have, in my team, we have someone assisting you every day. Say, hey, I noticed that you did not log in your exercise plan. I noticed that you did not log in, because we can check if you're logging or not. And you're gonna work on the mind part, that's deep, going deep on your personal, going deep, like what happened, your emotions, like forgiveness. You learn about so many things. And you have someone assisting you all the time for 4 weeks. For 4 weeks, every day. It's like, hey, how was that for you? How's the exercise for you? And you have also a life coach in the program, a personal trainer that you can do one-on-one via Zoom with you. 45 minutes, they teach you. You're already going to have a workout plan, one for you to do at the gym, another one for you to do at home. But you have someone directing you, like watching you, like, okay, one more, let's go, pushing you. And you also have access to a life coach. And now we are just adding to the team a registered dietitian.
Oh, awesome. That
Yeah.
sounds like an interesting program.
Yeah.
I'm
It's like
going to leave.
everyone.
Sure. Oh, it's not for just women, it's for both men and women.
Men and women, and we have a lot of men in the groups, in the programs, and but it is a mind blowing. Like, people not only transform their bodies, but they're transform their lives. It's like one client's like, I was holding this anger towards someone for so long. But after you do the exercise, I was able to forgive that person, let it go. It's like a rock just lift out of my shoulders. Do you know that sensation that you are free? That's where she felt like. And it's like, oh my God, this one just made me cry so much. I was just letting go. And yeah, so it's a beautiful journey to see what the client's going through. They're losing weight, yes, but they're happier. They're way much happier.
Yeah, that's important, right? Like happiness is a ripple effect. It shows into the house and, like your workplace. You be a better person when you're happy. I'm going to leave your description, your information in the description, your Instagram handle and all that. So in case if someone wants to reach out to you, they have the
Yeah.
information. Yeah. Uh,
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Daniel. It was very, very insightful and informative. I really enjoyed it, and I hope the viewers will have really good takeaways from this podcast.
Thank you so much for having me.